Attention all cryptocurrency traders and investors. It's happening again. Right before our eyes, possibly Bitcoin's worst nightmare happening right now as we speak inside of this chart. Take a look. The top of 2021 right here was marked by bearish divergence, where price went here, then went a lot higher, while the indicator did the exact opposite. It went high and then a lot lower. What is happening right now is Bitcoin is in the midst of incredibly strong bearish divergence. And the million-dollar question is the top in? And what is happening inside the charts? What is happening with these facts? Because like I said, last time we had bearish divergence, it marked the market cycle top. This time, we've had bearish divergence playing out before our eyes for quite some time. So is this thing about to break? Is it about to get scary? Is it about to get real ugly? Or is there something brewing in the midst, in the clouds, deceiving everyone that's about to swoop in and completely shock the world? In today's video, I want to uncover exactly that. What are the chances that this bearish divergence right now, right before our eyes, snaps and this thing starts plummeting? Or is there something lurking in the bushes, hard to see, that's going to come swoop out of nowhere and absolutely skyrocket the market? What are the chances of that playing out? That's what I want to get into in today's video, 100% based on the facts. Let's get into it. 97% lose it all at the top. Here's how the top 3% nailed the perfect exit. You will get your best exit ever, or you get a full refund. This 5-day masterclass gives you the exact system to exit altcoins and Bitcoins like a pro before the crash. 100% money back guarantee. Watch anytime from any device at your own speed. Plus unlimited support if you ever get stuck. Save an extra $500 when you pay with crypto. Clock is ticking. Get instant access now. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Again, that's CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking. Today, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar index and we are on the weekly chart. For the weekly chart, we have 3 parts of today's video. Part number 1 is price action above, and then part number 2 is the RSI, middle of the screen, overbought, oversold, and then at the bottom of our screen, the stochastic RSI, our momentum. What are these 3 things saying, and are they saying the same thing? Because one thing that we cannot deny right off the bat, we need to align on this, that there's bearish divergence right now. Not up for debate. This is a fact. Take a look at price back here in March 2024. It went in this red circle. We cannot deny that the next time we were in the red circle, the price was higher. Do we agree? That's higher. And the next time we were in the red circle, it was higher again. One thing that we cannot deny is as we were making higher and higher prices, we made lower and lower RSI. That's a rarity. You may think this happens all the time. No, this is a rarity. It sends a signal to investors and traders that something's not right. Something doesn't smell right, and that things are about to change. That's what bearish divergence is. When price goes up, indicator goes down, it tells us price is about to do the opposite. However, we've discussed at length with the stock market, you can have bearish divergence for potentially multiple years in a row. Bitcoin doesn't have experience with multiple years in a row. It's got a lot of experience with like a year and a half of bearish divergence, but not multiple years, which leads us to this discussion today. What is going on? Is this thing about to break? Is it about to get super, super ugly? Or is there something lurking in the bushes that could come and swoop in, shock the world, and send us to another new all-time high and potentially your favorite altcoins as well? So let's start with price action, then we'll jump into the middle, then we'll jump into the bottom. So what do we see with price action? Well, what we see is so far during this Bitcoin bull run, during this crypto bull run, we've had multiple touch points of at or below this moving average. Now you may be wondering, what is this green moving average? It's the 21 SMA, simple moving average. And we just threw that on so you can see, like, okay, if we go below this little moving average guy, usually we start to turn the corner, right? We could spend a little bit of time below this moving average guy, but once we do, we gather our momentum and we head to that next thing. Then we get to that next new all-time high, then we come back below this thing and the whole thing repeats. We go to another new all-time high. So right on schedule and by design, we are having some candles below this moving average. Are we concerned about that? Based on all the history we have for this bull run, this is par for the course. We typically need a handful of candles below said moving average, and then we get to that next new all-time high, right? Pretty simple. So are we concerned there? No. What we are concerned about is this bearish divergence. What does it mean? What is it telling the market? Well, if you guys remember back here in March 2024, when the RSI got up to 90, we put up the warning flag and we said, hey, look, this is not sustainable. The market will have a correction. And at the time, we were maybe at 70 something K and we had a correction. And we were waiting for one thing and one thing only, the Stochastic RSI weekly cross, which happens 2 times per year. In other words, you can pay attention to the daily things with Bitcoin. Oh my God, this is happening and this, we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. 2 times a year, like clockwork, we have a Stochastic RSI weekly cross. And that marks the biggest move of the whole year. Every single time, every single year for the history of Bitcoin. But everybody's paying attention to the day-to-day turmoil. Why? It's a waste of time, energy, and effort. Just take a look. We were down here below that moving average, and we had a weekly Stochastic RSI cross in March 2025, which we watched together right here. Bitcoin was at roughly 70 something K, and we went to a new all-time high. Okay, just like clockwork. So that's what we are looking at today in today's video, is can that save the day? Now, let's dig a little bit more into this RSI. So RSI overbought, oversold. You can see that back in February 24, we had a high. Then we had another lower high in December, Christmas time 24. Then yet another lower high. Now, those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you remember about 6 months ago, I put this random circle on our chart when we weren't even close to it yet in the RSI. What we're going to see next is a rally in price. And I just said, watch out for the market structure here. That's it. Just simple, clean, and clear. Why? Look left. Look left at this market structure zone. You can see back in May 24, us having resistance here. You can see back in December 24, us having resistance there. You can see all the way back in April 23, us having resistance there. So what was going to happen? We got resistance there. That's not a surprise. We put that circle on our chart a long time ago. But what is interesting is that marked some very extended bearish divergence for Bitcoin. In fact, this is one of the longest times in Bitcoin's history that it's right inside of bearish divergence as we speak. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because take a look at where this yellow line is and this yellow arrow is. This market structure right here is critical, and I want you to watch it like a hawk. This is what we've been talking about now for multiple years. Why? For the entire bull run, we have held this level on the weekly chart of 44 as support. Case in point, the last time we were below 44 on the RSI, Bitcoin was here at $17,000. Now, you may remember those days when Bitcoin was at 17,000, because the whole world was screaming that it was the dumbest idea to buy Bitcoin at 17,000, that we were going way lower, and that you were an idiot if you were buying Bitcoin. As you know, I like to sit on the other side of the fence, where we base everything on facts, and the facts were saying it's a damn good time to buy Bitcoin, and I was shouting it at the top of our lungs. 15,000, 16,000, and 17,000, telling you to trust the chart when the world was telling you the opposite. Now it's easy to look back in retrospect, but at 17,000, that's the last time we were lower than that market structure. In other words, for the entire bull run since 17,000, we have held this simple yellow line as beautiful market structure. Now, for those that are very disciplined traders and they've been trading and investing for a long time, they will shout at the top of their lungs that whenever you break a multiple year market structure, it sends absolute warning signs to the market. We haven't done that yet. Now, when we have this RSI, it's likely to test this level. How it reacts is going to spell the future for Bitcoin. If we start to break below here, there are some bigger warning signs that are going to be brewing and the market will react. If we hold this level as support, we're showing incredible strength, plain and simple, and there's no way around it. Now, there's one thing that's missing into the formula that we've created. We've talked about price action. Price action is looking fine, according to all the history we have in this bull run. We talked about the RSI. The RSI is not matching with price, so we've got bearish divergence, but so far we're holding market structure, and if we broke that, we would have concerns, but we haven't done that yet. There's one key component that could help clarify what is going on at the moment, and that's down below. The stochastic RSI, our momentum. Twice per year, we have a stochastic RSI cross. The last time we had a cross was here, March 25. I sat right in this chair when we were at about $75,000 and we were waiting for the cross. And we said, look, the cross will bring us to a new all-time high. You just got to be patient. We had a cross. You can see it right here on the chart. And it brought us to a new all-time high. It's pretty simple, right? We've only had one cross this whole year. The heat of the bull run, the hottest time of the market, we've only had one. Guess what the market is waiting for? The market is waiting for our second one. And if Bitcoin could have the second stochastic RSI cross, a real one, while holding the market structure in the RSI, you better believe we're going to another new all-time high. You can pretty much lock it in, right? By the way, let me give you another little tip. We talked about this chart. What we haven't talked about is this chart. Now, what I want to do is zoom into this time frame. We just talked about how the stochastic RSI on the weekly brought us from 70 something to another new all-time high, happens twice per year, like clockwork, blah, blah, blah. What was the market doing during this time? The market was freaking out. Everybody was freaking out, and we were right here on the scale. So there was incredible fear. In fact, we got into the teens in fear. We touched the 20 level in fear a few times. What are we doing now? More of the same. There's a lot of fear. People are wondering what the hell's going on. And we haven't dropped into the teens yet. We'll see if that happens. But we definitely played with the 20 level more than most people like to do. However, when there's a lot of fear, usually those are the best times to buy. History tells us that. Now, if you look at the maximum of this fear and green chart, you could see it's not often you get down into the 20s. And if you go back, after this video, go back, look at all the times that we were in the 20 area and look to see if those were good times to buy or bad. I think you'll have your answer loud and clear. If you see a broken market structure and another failed opportunity for this stochastic RSI cross and followed by a plummet in price, there could be some damage under the rug. But what we're looking to happen next is a stochastic RSI, a protection of this area, and buckle up because a new all-time high could be right around the corner. 97% lose it all at the top. Here's how the top 3% nailed the perfect exit. You will get your best exit ever, or you get a full refund. This 5-day masterclass gives you the exact system to exit altcoins and Bitcoins like a pro before the crash. 100% money back guarantee. Save an extra $500 when you pay with crypto. Clock is ticking. Get instant access now. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking.